God is my strength. Vision is his gift. God is your strength, and vision is his gift. What's good, fam? We made it to lesson 42 of A Course in Miracles, and today we are going to learn how to see. We're going to learn how to see the real world. We're going to learn how to see the beauty and the love and the light that is in everyone and everything around us, because it is there. And we're not really learning how to see that. We are actually unlearning everything that is causing us not to see that. Because true vision, which we are going to gain today, and what we've been working on gaining for the past 42 days now, is what God provides. That is truth, that is knowledge, that is vision. Right now, the Course is implying that we're not seeing at all, because we are simply perceiving images that are covering everything that we see, or we think we see anyways, that we have made. So, for example, a few of the previous earlier lessons were like, I have given that mic everything. I have given that mic all the meaning it has for me. Nothing I see means anything. Lesson 1. Lesson 2, I have given the meaning to everything I see. I do not understand what anything is for. And all these lessons are very crucial, because whenever we finally get to the point where we understand why we're saying and repeating them, we understand that we really have given everything we see all the meaning it has for us. I've given that mic right there, and the studio foam, and that backpack, and this sweater, and every other thing that in my life, in my world, I have given it all the meaning it has for me. And I do that by perceiving something that is not there. I am kind of, remember, everything that we see is neutral. Everything we see in this world is neutral. This body is neutral. This hand is neutral. This sweater is neutral, meaning it has no meaning in itself, and we are giving it all of the meaning that it has for us. And remember, we have no neutral thoughts. We are either thinking with God, or we are not thinking at all. We are perceiving images that we made while identifying ourselves with the ego. Now, because our whole lives we've most likely been identifying ourselves with the ego, because that's the natural thing in this world, is fear and worry and doubt and lack. We have learned how to perceive with the ego. We are identifying ourselves with the ego, although we don't call it that, or are even aware that this is happening. But we identify with this sense of worry and doubt and fear and separation that we believe exists within us, because we don't know who we truly are. And we are perceiving from that lens, therefore giving everything we see the meaning from that lens. And that is not really seeing, because whenever you look around this world and you see fear and drama and chaos, all of that is simply an image that we have made in our minds that we believe is there, but we're not really seeing. At that point, we are just simply asleep. Simply like when you're in a dream, you're not really seeing, you are dreaming, and you're perceiving images passing through your imagination. And that's kind of what's happening right now, is we are hallucinating in this world while identifying ourselves with the ego, thinking that whenever someone's rude to us, or whenever we're rude to somebody, or whenever someone says something to you and it gets you embarrassed, or it pushes your buttons in any type of way, and it makes you feel anything other than love, all of that is an illusion that me and you have made normal. But today, because God gives us strength, vision is his gift, and we're going to dive straight in, and we're going to see what we find in this lesson. So you already know what to do. If you got the book, pull up to lesson 42. If you don't got the book yet, the PDF is in the description. Go ahead and pull up, and let's read this together. Lesson 42 of A Course in Miracles. God is my strength. Vision is his gift. The idea for today combines two very powerful thoughts, both of major importance. It also sets forth a cause and effect relationship that explains why you cannot fail in your efforts to achieve the goal of the course. You will see, because it is the will of God. It is his strength, not your own, that gives you power. And it is his gift rather than your own that offers vision to you. God is indeed your strength, and what he gives is truly given. This means that you can receive it at any time and anywhere, wherever you are and whatever in whatever circumstance you find yourself. Your passage through time and space is not at random. You cannot but be in the right place at the right time. Such is the strength of God. Such are his gifts. We will have 2 3 to 5 minute practice periods today. One as soon as possible after you wake, and another as close as possible to the time you go to sleep. It is better, however, to wait until you can sit quietly by yourself at, at a time when you feel ready than it is to be concerned with the time as such. Begin these practice periods by repeating the idea for today slowly, with your eyes open, looking about you. Then close your eyes and repeat the idea again, even slower than before. After this, try to think of nothing except thoughts that occur to you in relation to the idea for today. You might think, for example, vision must be possible. God gives truly. Or, God's gift to me must be mine because he gave them to me. Now, let's go ahead and apply this a few times together before we continue. So, like it stated, once early in the morning, as soon as possible after you wake up, and then as close as possible to before you go to bed. And remember, the times are not as important as being willing and having the intention and determination to do it. Not even determination, that's too strong of a word, but being willing and being very intentional, setting forth that few minutes purely giving your focus to this. And because of our untrained minds, it is going to take a little bit of effort for us to purely focus on one thing at a time, because while we're reading this, I'm pretty sure you may have had some thoughts about what you're going to do today, or what you need to do, or what you need to get done, or what you're going to eat, or what this person said, or a notification that popped up on the device you're watching this from. Something of that nature may have happened, and our focus was diverted from what the intention was to something completely different. And that happens with all of us at the most random times throughout our day, because we're not disciplined with our mind. It is untrained at this moment in time, and our focus is easily diverted. So whenever you're giving your attention to these lessons today, the time is not the most important factor. So don't be too like on point with it unless you're really willing to. But just know that the most important thing is that you are giving your purely undivided attention to the lesson for the few minutes that you're doing it for. Now, me and you are going to do that together right now. So we are going to repeat, God is my strength and vision is his gift, while looking around. So if you'd like to, you could look at me while I look around, or you could look around you, but we are going to repeat to ourselves, God God is my strength, vision is his gift. God is my strength, vision is his gift. And kind of just glance about yourself around your environment and see what you see while repeating this. And after a few times of that, we're going to close our eyes now and repeat, God is my strength, vision is his gift. Now, if you're in a place where you can close your eyes, feel free to do so, but it's going to look something like this. And you're going to say, God is my strength, vision is his gift. One more time. God is my strength, vision is his gift. And then just sitting there for a few moments and allowing any thoughts of that nature to dovetail into what we just said, dovetail into the idea. And like it stated, some thoughts may be, vision must be possible, God gives truly, or God's gift to me must be mine because he gave them to me. and so on and so forth. It doesn't have to be that particularly, but whatever does pop up would be sufficient. Now let's go ahead and continue. Any thought that is clearly related to the idea for today is suitable. You may, in fact, be astonished at the amount of course-related understanding some of your thoughts contain. Let them come without censoring unless you find your mind is merely wandering and you have let obviously irrelevant thoughts intrude. You may also reach a point where no thoughts at all seem to come to mind. If such interferences occur, open your eyes and repeat the thought once more while looking slowly about you. Close your eyes, repeat the idea once more, and then continue to look for related thoughts in your mind. Remember, however, that active searching for relevant thoughts is not appropriate for today's exercises. Try merely to step back and let the thoughts come. So just kind of allow, like we said, allow it to come, and they will. When you have a clear mind and we're focused on one thing, more thoughts like that are able to become available to us because we've activated this thought. It's active, we're thinking about it, and now more similar thoughts, due to law of attraction, if you will, are made available to us because we are on that vibration, so we're able to pick up things near or on that station. If you find this difficult, it is better to spend the practice period alternating between slow repetitions of the idea with eyes open, then with eyes closed. Then it is to strain to find suitable thoughts. So exactly what it says. If it is difficult to allow those thoughts to come to pass, merely just focus on the idea, and that would be more beneficial than to strain and find thoughts. There is no limit on the number of short practice periods that would be beneficial for today. The idea for today is a beginning step in bringing thoughts together and teaching you that you are studying a unified thought system in which nothing is lacking that is needed and nothing is included that is contradictory or irrelevant. The more often you repeat the idea during the day, the more often you will be reminding yourself that the goal of the course is important to you and that you have not forgotten it. And that is the end of lesson 42. The more often, always the better. Remember, the more repetition we do, the faster we are going to get this down. When you play football, the more practice you get in, the more familiar you're going to get with the field, with the ball, with everything of that nature. The more practice you put in for basketball or baseball or any sport, the more great you are going to become at it because you are learning the inner workings. Every moment you spend practicing, you are absorbing all the knowledge that you wouldn't get by watching someone else do it. Although you can learn by observation, the best way to learn is through experience. And whenever you experience going to practice, you get familiar with the bat, with the throwing, the catching, or whatever may apply to whatever sport or whatever you're learning for that matter. And in this case, it is these lessons. The more we repeat these thoughts over and over and over again, we are seeing why and how they are really true, and we are learning the inner workings. We're activating that thought, and because we've activated that thought, more and more and more thoughts are made available to us to think similar thoughts until this whole thought system kind of just overthrows our current one, which is worry, doubt, and fear based. And I'm pretty sure that we want to let that go. I mean, we're here 42 days straight, so of course we want to let that go. Everyone wants to let go of fear because it is not really there. And although they may not say that or feel like they want to keep on to it, is because they do not know the gift that true vision has of seeing the beauty of this world. So just know that the more the better. We're going to read this lesson again individually on our own time and really focus more on the words and the intention behind the words. We're going to apply this idea today as stated, and we're going to do it as much as possible, like all the lessons. And until then, may you never be the same, and I will see you tomorrow for lesson 43 of A Course in Miracles.